Good day, grade 9s. This is Sarah van Grinnen, aka Mr. VG, and this is me coming to help you with conquering that monster of geometry. So when we look at geometry, I say it's a monster, but actually it is gorgeous mathematics. Absolutely gorgeous mathematics. But what I would like you to do is just fill your toolbox with all of these wonderful tools. But I do want you to look at the way that I do it. And I want you to emulate me. That's a big word for saying, do what I do. In other words, I would like you to take one page per type of geometry maths that we are going to do. In my experience and many of my colleagues in the field of mathematics education share with me always that the issue with maths is that kids don't study maths enough. They don't study enough and they don't study right. So I want today to help you to study, but also to study right. So when we think about geometry as it is going to be taught in grade 9, the first things that we are going to look at is angles and lines. So when we talk about angles and lines, it's also going to include parallel lines specifically. Now this is grade 8 work, and even though it's grade 8 work, I'm still going to go over it with you in this video. So this video is going to be specifically focusing on angles and lines and parallel lines, the revision from grade 8. But in our next video, we are going to specifically look at triangles, but not just triangles from grade 8. Also the new stuff you are going to do in grade 9. Awesome, amazing mathematics. Then there's going to be another video after that. So we are going to have a whole series of videos on geometry, with our last video focusing on quadrilaterals or four-sided shapes. So let's start with revising angles and lines from grade 8. When we talk about angles and lines, I like to kind of take one page. So a page like this screen is here, and divide it into 3 parts. The first part is going to be just the basics. I like to call it TOX, T-O-X. That's our 3 basic angles theorems. The first one is that the angles adjacent to one another must add up to 180, with our reason being angles on a straight line. Your teacher might go and say, but you've got to say adjacent angles on a straight line. Then you go for it. The O stands for revolutions. In other words, all of the angles around a point must add up to 360 degrees, with our reason being revolution angles, or angles around a point. Either or, it really does not matter. Then we get to the X, which you all should know, is that 2 angles that are vertically opposite one another are equal. Simple and straightforward, right? Up to this point, nothing new. Well, this video is going to be nothing new, but I am going to focus on some important things. Next up, parallel lines. So then we have fun, F, U, and N. But for this one, these 3 things that I'm going to do with you now, these 3 theorems, I'm going to assume that the lines are parallel. So if there's an F, then X and Y are equal, and my reason is corresponding angles. But please remember to state which lines are parallel to one another. Then the U says that X plus Y must add up to 180. And again, a reason, because co-interior angles. Last but definitely not least is the N, which says that the alternate angles are equal to one another. Again, specify which sides are parallel. That is so crucial. If you forget to specify the sides, then you will not get the marks. Be warned. Let's look at the last bit of this video, which is a bit weird but really important. If I want to prove parallel lines, so in other words, they ask you in the exam, prove that AB is parallel to CD. How do I do that? Well, I'm going to use FU and N again, but now converse, which means I'm not going to start off with saying they are parallel. I want to prove they are parallel. So the first thing I want to do is I want to first state with a F which angles are equal. Well, now, if X and Y are equal, then AB is parallel to CD. Why are the lines parallel? Because corresponding angles are equal. Look at the change in reason. Here we don't say the sides are parallel. The reason is now because the angles are equal, therefore the sides are parallel. If I look at the U, if I'm now given that X plus Y is 180, then side AB will be parallel to line segment CD. Why is that? Because the co-interior angles are supplementary. Very crucial. That word at the end, supplementary, means adding up to 180 degrees. Last but not least, again, our N. If I can somehow prove that X and Y are equal, then the sides are parallel. Why would that be? What would be our reason we give the examiner? That alternate angles are equal. These last three theorems are crucial, grade 9s, because it's the only way that we have at this moment of proving lines parallel to one another. They love to ask this, even in grade 10, 11, and 12. So it's important that you get this right. In our next video, we are going to go over and recap grade 8 triangles, and then we're also going to look at grade 9 triangles. So keep with me, stay with me, and have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. This is Mr. VG signing out. Keep well. Cheers.